That's why, like, this morning when I was like talking to you guys, I was like, bro, you're like, what time are we podcasting? I'm like, yo, I am not a human yet. It was 10 and I just woke up and I'm jet lagged. And I came this way. So I'm like, dude,
I didn't care when or if we podcasted. I just hadn't heard from you. You're the one who told us Thursday, so.
Yeah. And then I was sitting at Dully's going, what happened to my life? How have I found myself in this situation?
Oh, man.
Yeah. I guess a bunch of storms. Anytime you go to Chicago, you get cooked.
Yeah.
Or Denver.
Houston, too.
I feel like Houston's one of the better ones. Houston or Dulles is better than Chicago and
I'm a Dulles guy.
I feel like Newark is quite bad as well.
Yeah.
I've had bad luck there. Chicago's definitely. I've slept overnight in Chicago at least once.
I was in Chicago and I'm like, wait a minute. And like when I went out through security, like, am I in Newark? Like, where am I? They all blend together.
Dude, I wake up Monday. I have a dentist appointment. Driving to a dentist appointment, I'm like, man, my stomach like fucking hurts right now. Sit through a dentist appointment, like check up, got my teeth cleaned, and I was like, hey, like I have a wisdom tooth that like is kind of bothering me. We're like, yeah, like we totally should take that out soon. And then they're like, we have an appointment. We have like a availability tomorrow, like Tuesday. I'm like, let's just fucking do it. I spent the rest of my Monday like curled up on the floor with like stomach cramps, just gnarly stomach cramps. I don't know if it had to just been something I ate. Didn't really work. Yeah, I know. Maybe. Didn't really work. Tuesday, get 2 wisdom teeth and some old cavities redone. So like lose most of Tuesday and yesterday. I didn't sleep at all Tuesday night. And then yesterday was just like so tired. And now I'm at least like partially back, but
I hate going to the dentist. Last year I had a tooth pulled because I had like a cavity and I didn't get anything done about it. And then it like got infected and then I had to have the tooth pulled, which sucked. It was my own fault. Like I was too busy to go to the dentist, right? And then I did my blood work and they're like, oh, we see like some infection in your blood. And I'm like, oh fuck, I have a cavity. I bet you it's this tooth that's in my head. So I ended up getting it pulled because they were like, we could do a root canal. I was like, I have to go to Europe tomorrow, just pull it. So I'm missing a tooth up here, like on top.
Oh, that's what that's from.
And they like blasted a hole and they pulled it. They like pushed it through into my nasal cavity. And like, then I had to go to like the oral surgeon and they like had to like hit this bone plug into my jaw to like plug the hole between my nasal cavity and where they pulled the tooth because they pushed the tooth through trying to pull it.
I've never even heard of that.
And now I need my wisdom teeth pulled, and I'm like, I do not want to go to the dentist.
Oh,
it's
well, I'm sorry to hear this for you guys, but I'm an Whistler, so
I was gonna say, I feel like dental work and like dental surgery is pretty shitty. Like this is my second go around getting some wisdom teeth pulled. I've only had one pulled before, and it's been like 3 or 4 years and it sucks. Like, and it's such a shitty thing to be like, yeah, I'm not really going to work today because like my mouth hurts. But like when you're in it, it's like, dude, because I didn't eat anything for over 24 hours. I barely drank any water for 24 hours. And like, it's okay now. But like when I get towards the end of when I'm supposed to take ibuprofen again, it's like if my head gets below my heart bending over, it's just throbbing. Like the gnarly.
You got them taken out while you were awake, right?
Yeah.
So gnarly.
It is, dude, it's super gnarly. Like, because I had like a few cavities done, which took like 45 minutes maybe. And then I had 2 teeth on my right side, the 2 wisdom teeth taken out. And it was like probably a good 20 minutes per tooth. And like, you're getting so worked, like head pulled around and stuff. It is. I think I have a good.
Did it make me want to throw up thinking about it? I'm sorry.
I mean, the good thing is it doesn't hurt, right? Like you're so numbed up, but now it hurts. And then now I'm like all cautious about it getting infected, so I'm like barely eating anything. And I mean, I'm glad I got it done before I hit the road next week for a month. So, and it's expensive. That's like the worst part too. It's like you spend a bunch of money to just kind of like be uncomfortable for a few days.
Dude, yeah. I was with one of our friends yesterday, and we were riding. He said he smashed his face on his bars, and up in Canada here, and he actually flew all the way to Mexico because it was like 10 grand to get it fixed here. And he flew to Mexico and got it fixed, like his teeth fixed in Mexico.
Yeah.
For like 3 grand.
I know, like growing up, I know so many people that do. I mean, like my mom only goes down to Mexico to get dental work done because it's just way cheaper. I think if I didn't have these things going on, because I think my insurance is like $1,000 a year goes towards dental, which would cover like cleanings and maybe a filling. That's like the annoying thing is like the fillings I have or the cavities I have were around existing fillings. So I had to like get old fillings drilled out and then redone. So yeah, I mean, I'm not that swollen. Like I don't even know if you can really tell. So that's sick.
I like open my Blue Cross Blue Shield and I'm like, do I really have to pay this? Like
right now.
Seriously? Dude. There's like a list of them and they're all like $600, $1,000, $600, $1,000. I'm like, can I just let this ride a little longer?
Dental stuff, I will say, is something that I fucking hate going to the dentist, but the older I get, the more I'm like, I can't put this off because when it gets worse, it hurts and gets bad, but it gets so much more expensive. Like not being able to eat and chew, it just like ruins your day. It's like at least for me, it's like all I can think about if I got like a pain in my mouth. So yeah. And right now I'm just been eating hard-boiled eggs. So many hard-boiled eggs. Oh my God.
I just feel like that's been the hardest part about like when people are like, oh, you go away. I'm like, no, like I'm gonna be gone for 9 weeks. And it's like everybody's like, oh, I got a month trip coming up. And it's like, you leave your house for 2 months, like the amount of mail. Like it's gonna take me 3 hours to go through my mail. And it's just gonna be, and I'm gonna get to the pile of bills that they've sent the bill like 6 times. Like stupid stuff, like my CUB, my electric bill, for some reason on auto pay just canceled, and I'm like 2 months behind, and now I have to go to the CUB to pay the bill. And it's like I was trying to pay it from outside the country. No, like even for my business, like my auto pay for my business, just for no reason, just stop payroll. They're like, yeah, but just like I feel like it's almost like a joke at this point. Like I'm like waiting like for someone like I just can't stay on top of all this stuff that I have to do. Like
the guy in the suit's gonna show up at your door.
Yeah, I'm like waiting for the door hanger, and I'm like, when the door hanger comes, I'll pay it. When they're like, well, shit, we're gonna shut you off in a week, and I'm like, oh yeah. like I feel like if somebody like really needs the money from me that bad, they'll like call me, right? It is so hard to be an adult. It's like a joke. I'm like,
no, one day you're just gonna find out you don't own your house anymore.
Yeah.
Well, no, luckily my
someone else tries to move in.
Yeah. my taxes and my home payment is like my insurance for the year is like wrapped up in the monthly payment. So luckily, at least nobody's just gonna like tax buy my house for $2 grand. But like the rest of it is like, I have 2 important things: my house payment and my truck payment. And like they usually like if you miss that payment, they let you know. So nobody's gonna come take those.
Just show up from being gone for 9 weeks and your truck's gone.
Dang, that would be rough. Funny a little bit, but rough.
Like
yeah. Like it'd be funny for other people.
I feel like if it's really that bad, they like call you, like, but yeah.
But that's like a 877 number or something that you're not gonna answer, and you get a million of those calls,
dude.
You know,
I've been getting this +63 text message from like it's like middle Europe somewhere, right? +63 text message, and it looks real. It's like there's gonna be serious penalties if you don't pay your unpaid toll. And I'm like, there are no tolls in Michigan.
Oh, the toll ones are spooky. Don't click the link.
Dude, I just feel like it's hard out here, you know? Everybody's trying to get some money. And it's like the new one that's been really, really making me mad is every time I look at my credit card report, United charges me twice. Baggage, $150, they charge it twice. 2 days later, they charge it again. And it's making me furious.
Does it fall off, or do you have to like call and
stays on? And I just every time I have to like go on my credit card report, flag it. I'm like, you already dude, it's like I went through my taxes from last year and I noticed it. And I was like, damn, they got me like for $1,000. I'm pretty bad at looking at my credit card payment at the end of the month and like going through all the charges.
Mm-hmm.
And then like I get to the end of the year and go through everything at tax time and I'm like, damn,
That's
they got
rough.
me. They got me.
Nothing is worse than paying for bags and especially bikes because it's so inconsistent. Like when we went to Finale a couple months ago, $300 to get 2 bikes there, $0 with the same airlines to get them home. Just different person working the little cash wrap baggage check, in different parts of the world. It made it sick because it was like only $300 for our bikes, but I'm like, could it have just been free?
They got me for this one on the way home. Like I'm supposed to get 3 70-pound bags, right? So I have 3 bags that are 70 pounds in my little my wheel bag. And then they're like, oh no, your wheel bag's the 3rd bag. We're gonna charge you for the bike €170. And I'm like,
you're like, I see you trying to fuck me right now.
Yeah, like I know what you're doing. And I'm not even gonna argue with you because I know I can't win. And I'm just gonna send the expense in, but it's not worth me arguing with you. But it was all free on the way here.
Yeah.
Dude, the worst part is that like some of them will charge you oversized and overweight for like over 50 pounds or whatever. But then there's supposed to be just a general bike fee.
The classic argument. I've had that argument so many times.
I'm like, here's what you say on your website.
Yeah.
Like, this is.
Yeah. Usually, I feel like now, like they've gotten a little bit better with like understanding larger items, at least from like 10 years ago, traveling with bikes. But it's all just who you get. Sometimes they're just like super chill about it for some reason.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like the classic where you like, it's a bike and you pay for it and then it is overweight, but like it's kind of too late because they've already checked you out and they're like, I'm like, does it really matter? I never even understand the whole weight thing,
Yeah. I'm like, okay, guys, like let's just like, I don't weigh that much compared to other people. So like we'll just take like my weight and we'll subtract it from the average of like 180.
Yeah.
I can get an extra 30 pounds. Like
or like when you have the one, it's because they have to pick it up and load it, right? So they in Europe it's never over 32 kg, 70 pounds. But it frustrates me because I'll have like one bag with my 2 helmets in it, and this is like me doing the shuffle, right? But it's like my bike, no matter what, you put the bike in there with double down or downhill tires. You put your pedals in there, whatever, it's 70 pounds, like every time, sometimes 72 pounds. And it's like your other bag has 2 helmets in it and it's like under, 40 or whatever, there's like, okay, this one's 2 pounds over, but this one's 20 pounds less and you're going to charge me an extra $100. And it's like, do I really have to pull my shock out of my bike and put it in my check bag every time? Like I do not. Like, do we really have to do that?
The pedals every time. It's like take my 2 pairs of pedals out and put them on my carry-on.
Yeah. I know I started flying with my rotors and derailleur and chain in a different bag just because they're easy enough just to throw in like my checked clothes bag and it saves quite a bit of weight.
I've gotten pretty good over the years at like scheming the system of like where you put you like take all your you're like, well, they're onto the toe up. Most of them know the toe up, but you like take all the heavy stuff out and put it in your check bag, and then you check it, and then when you go to walk to put your stuff in oversized, you just like take your little bag, unzip your thing, slide all the heavy stuff back in it, take it over there, and
that's super funny.
When it's already got a bag tag on it, and just slide it and walk away before because I like have to take it then, you're gone. Or like I'll put my heavy stuff in my backpack and it's like pretty inconvenient to get on like the first flight. But as soon as I get to Newark and we got to recheck the bags, just all the heavy stuff out of the bag, just cram it in your check bag. Here you go.
That's smart. I didn't thought of that.
Then like your whole layover, your backpack's pretty light. You're cruising around and it's not.
Like put your big jacket on. Like carry your big jacket through security.
I hate the airport. I literally went to Chili last night and got steak fajitas and a beer. I was like, dude, I'm celebrating. I'm home. Land of the free. I'm gonna get a beer. And it was like after tip, it was like $55 US. And I was just like, for one 20-ounce beer and some steak fajitas, I was like, dude, you're kidding. I was like, I just literally. And the thing is, there's people at the bar just drinking at the airport.
Dude,
I'm like
dropping $100 on like 4 drinks.
Yeah.
Crazy.
And it even like a lot of my travel I expense these days because typically for work, but I'm like still in that mindset of I'm not going to go to the restaurant and spend $80 on a meal that should be like 30. But I always think that when I'm there looking around, I'm like, okay, there's some people in here that got it like that. And then most of these people are like me where they're just expensing this shit and someone else is paying for it. But yeah.
Two drink maximum. But that's the thing that's been kind of crazy for me with like inflation in general is like, we're like, I don't want to go. Like, I'll just go, like when I'm in Europe, I'll just go into the grocery store, get like a Uncle Ben's, a tuna, a piece of fruit, and a water. And you walk out and it's like €22. And you're like, I should have just went to lunch.
I went to the grocery store the other day. I got a pint of ice cream, some eggs, some bread, and like an avocado. Somehow it was $34 Canadian, but like still that's like $26 US or something like that. It was like, I feel like I got nothing.
I feel very fortunate that when I go to the bike park and slice a tire in 2 runs, I didn't pay €100 for that tire or whatever, you know. It's like everything is so expensive, and it's like I fully understand like why, like how I don't know how people like have hobbies at this point in time. Like everything has gotten so expensive. I'm like it's the same with me with dirt bikes. I pay full price for dirt bike stuff. So I'm like, the other day I like was climbing this hill and I just like grab a little bit too much and like loop my dirt bike out at the top of this hill. And it was like header, radiator, and had a radiator brace on it, shrouds, lever, bars. And I was like, and just roached my bike. And I was like, and it was literally a 3-hour 300, like my brand new gas. And I'm like, that was like $1,000. Like, ow,
man.
I don't even want. It's still sitting down there like that. I was like, I don't even want to pay to fix this thing. This is just astronomical. I mean, it's the same like for me, like the bike parts that I get why everybody wants to ride a flow trail because dude, rocks are expensive. I'm like, dude, come on. I guess so. I mean, I'm super fortunate on the mountain bike side. Like I don't obviously it's business for me. It's like get paid to go fast, whatever the cost of riding that line is, or like jump a gnarly gap. And if you rip the chain guide off and blow the chain ring and blow everything apart, it just miraculously gets fixed in 15 minutes and I go back up the hill. But when I do that on a dirt bike, I'm just like, the other day I like in the backyard clipped neutral and kind of flipped over the bars on my 450. And I'm like, no, casually, right? This was before I got hurt. It was like actually a terrible thing. Hit neutral and kind of tipped over, like over the bars. I was fine, like just barely slid out. But the bike kind of went in for end a little bit. And I was like bars, bar mount, subframe, silencer. Just like, dude, like what just happened? I just went broke in like 6 seconds.
Oh, yeah, no, it happens.
Well, that's how I felt with like medical shit, and then like Zeus having all of his stuff, just like things you kind of gotta pay, but it's just fuck, it adds up so quick. Even like the solar stuff in my van, that's like my goal this weekend is to finish all that. I like ordered everything, but even that, it's like probably $1,100 by the time it's all said and done, just buying wires and like fittings and the time, all that crap. It is, yeah.
Yep.
But then you get to have fun things and do fun stuff.
Yeah.
Keep living.
Like camera stuff is like stuff that I need for work. And it's like, you buy anything for a camera, you're spending $2,000.
Yeah, it's like, insane. Camera stuff is really impressive.
Need a new lens? $2,000. Need a new body? $3,000. Like, it's like, all right, cool. I hope this money comes back around somehow. Like, someone hire me now for something so I can just pay off my camera.
We got our Eurovan, right? And I was like, damn, yeah, we'll buy a van. We'll save some money this year. And then we had an incident in Italy where the van got dented, and I was like, damn it. The whole plan just fell apart.
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything.
Okay.
There's a backup camera.
You gonna throw her under the bus?
No, I'm not
Frida getting thrown under the bus right now?
No, she's not. I'm literally not. I said there was an incident in Italy. I'm not going to say what the incident was.
What?
We had a little dent in the back door.
Okay.
And I was just like, well, it's a beater now. I tried to buy a nice van to retain some money, and now it's a beater. Just was like looking at doors. Doors were €700. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
I can't have nothing nice. I don't even want to have nice things anymore.
Dude,
Just want to
speaking of denting cars, I leave my house for the first time in a couple days yesterday to take Zeus to the park. I'm getting home and I find a spot right in front of my house. I'm like, fuck yeah. Loop around real quick. I'm backing up and I'm like, get out to see how much room I have and to make sure I'm clearing the driveway in front of me. And I'm like, okay, cool. I got a couple feet. Backing up and I'm like, I don't have a backup camera in my van. It's just mirrors. And I'm kind of going off of the feel of having a car for a lot of years, but I'm kind of paying more attention of clearing the driveway in front of me. So I put it in park again and I go back to look and I have just pretty much slowly backed into this Porsche that's behind me. And I'm I literally look at it and I just started shaking my head, standing in the middle of the road. I'm like, you'd be fucking kidding me. Why? How did I do this? And why is this happening?
Speaking of in Italy, my van is parked and I'm talking to this dude backing up, right? And he just keeps backing up and I'm like, hey. And he just keeps backing, his back's right into my car, still talking to me. I'm like, dude, really?
Oh my God. Well, see, I got really lucky because I have a step on the back of my van and the front of this car, the front fender was a big cutout for air intake. And my step literally almost fit in the mouth of the front of this car. And so I pulled forward and went and looked and maybe the license plate was slightly bent in because I clipped it, but it came back when I pulled out. But I left the dude a note and was I couldn't find anything, but call me if there's an issue. And he texted me last night and he was like, hey, I couldn't find anything either. So thanks for leaving a note, but I think it's all good. And I was like,
his intercooler is just pushed in on the inside.
Well, and I looked at the car and kind of felt shitty, but I'm like, this person could just be a douchebag. It's bright red little Porsche,
No, that happened to my Sprinter. My sister backed into my Sprinter. You dented the bumper, and I just got it back from the body shop too. Crushed the grill and the bezel and the emblem, and she's like, "Oh, it's not that bad." I'm like, "The fan is pushed into the radiator." I'm like, everything is pushed in. Yeah, it doesn't look that bad from here until you open the hood, and then it gets expensive. Just oh man, everything is destroyed.
Oh
man.
Oh well. What do you do? That's living, brother.
Midsummer downfall.
Should we actually podcast now? I'm sure people are sick of listening to us rant about all of our life problems. Adulting.
When you guys were out doing all that, I did a sick hut-to-hut bike packing trip last week.
So, yeah, how was it?
It was insane. It was so cool. Took a float plane up north Whistler, took a float plane up into the mountains, landed on an alpine lake, and then got out and rode for 3 days. Stayed at huts that were had a chef at them and stuff. It was insane.
Damn,
so dialed.
Can anybody pay for one of those experiences?
Yeah, yeah. It's
you have any idea what it would cost?
It's called Kayak Adventures, and I want to say it's the one that we did is around 1,700 to 2,000 Canadian. I want to say so. It's pretty reasonable
per person.
Yeah, per person.
Okay.
Yeah. So
and then are you guided on the ride?
Yeah, and then you have a guide, and then you have you get breakfast, lunch, dinner. Once you get into camp, after riding all day, they have charcuterie board, all snacks and stuff, and coffee and tea and lemonade. You can even get an alcohol package if you want beer and stuff.
So explain this to me. Would you ride from dirt bikes or
mountain bikes?
You got a pedal.
Yep. Yeah, you got a pedal, but it was
paid
sick.
Money to go pedal.
Big high alpine stuff, long descents.
Nah, that does sound sick.
I did see some of your Stravas. They looked like proper days riding.
Yeah, it was we were out for 5 or 6 hours each day. But there's like different routes that you can do too. Like you don't have to go over. We did one day of 3 passes, so it was like a 5,000-foot day of climbing, like some hike a bike and stuff.
I feel like for me to go do a 5,000-foot day at my local there's no way it's going to happen. But I feel like if I went on a trip like that and we were riding, like you're like, oh, I want to get to the top of that mountain and ride this sick trail from there. Then it's like pretty motivating to pedal for 6 hours.
Yeah. And if you have all day.
Yeah, there's like no service or anything. So it's like you're not doing work or anything that day. Like that is like your day, and then you get there, you just hang out, campfire. You can like there's hot showers and stuff. Like you have pole tents that you stay in with like a nice bed and pretty luxury.
Like, I mean, I'll be the first one to say I don't really like camping. I bought a van, I built it out. Don't really plan ever in a tent again. But so that's my style of like bike packing right there. That's sick. That's really not that bad. You said it was 3 days plus the flight in.
Yeah.
Damn.
Tyax Adventures, TYAX.
Yeah, and that left where? Somewhere.
It was from
Whistler?
It's called like Pyoten Lake, which is like if you go to Pemberton up north of Whistler, and then you go over this, like, you can either go around this mountain or you go up and over this pass, and you get to like Goldbridge. It's like the closest town, which is like town is 47 people, so like it's kind of remote.
The commune.
Yeah, and then there's like a lodge, like a nice like fancy lodge and stuff that you can stay at like the night before or whatever if you want, or the night after. But yeah, sick.
I bet they do packages too where you just pay for like the flight in, I would think. And then you can be self-supported as well. Yeah. You
can do self-supported, you can do self-guided, you can do like one night, you could do just fly in and ride out that day. It's like different, there's different options for it.
Damn, that sounds super sick. I gotta look into stuff like that. That sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Fun.
Yeah.
I want to go do one of, speaking of these, route to route. I think Russell Bobbitt does one of those like gnarly routes, and you can you just pay money. You come in, you ride one of his bikes. He gives you a set of gear, and then like they like have big cookouts at the end of every day, and it's like a moto vacation.
They do it in Colorado, I think, right?
Cool to do. They do them all over.
My dad was actually looking at doing an adventure style one like that in Italy. Same sort of vibe. Like there's just a guy that's been putting those on, and he basically plans a route for a couple people over like a week, and you can either bring a bike or he can provide bikes. Yeah, that stuff is fun. I feel like the less competitive I get as I get older with like the activities I do, the more stuff like that sounds like way more fun.
Yeah, I think like
adventure experience
outside of racing, like that's exactly what I would want to, like the kind of stuff I want to do anymore. Like, I mean, I'm still a super competitive person when it comes to racing and that kind of stuff, but I think outside, like I really have just like grown to enjoy like spending time with my buddies, riding, and I think like with e-bikes, I would be pretty into like doing some of those bigger like pedal days, because it's like you get to experience a little bit more. Even if you pedal on eco or tour, like you can put a pretty big day in on a 600 or 800 amp hour battery, like and cover a lot of ground. And to me, that's like what I enjoy now. Like I guess I enjoy pedaling less than ever. Like I've never actually loved to pedal. Like I do like all my training and stuff, but like I know some dudes like Nico just loves to go out for a 3.5, 4 hour pedal. And I'm just like, no part of me like really likes to do that. Like that was something I like when I see a 3 hour day on the road bike, I'm like, here we go. But I don't,
once it's not for work, it's different. Like, once you don't have to do it.
Yeah.
I feel like it changes.
But I feel like every time I go to Europe, I'm like the other day we did a ride and I was like, man, I really want to go like to the top of that hill. And with the e-bike, like you can do what would be a 7 hour pedal in 3 hours, like you can rip up there on a battery. And it's really made me enjoy like going and exploring more than I think I ever have. Is like, I've never been super into that, but I think like for me lately, I've actually slightly enjoyed doing these like bigger days and these bigger rides, and the e-bike makes it a lot more fun for me, where I guess I'm I guess it's different when you're like, I want to go to the top of that hill. And I think that would be kind of that same experience, like go ride like 3 sick tracks in a day rather than like, for me, I'm like, if I had to go pedal to the top of Windmill 3 times or Windrock 3 times, I'm like, but doing like a big day like that, I think would be really fun. Maybe we should plan one.
I know. That would be really fun.
It'd be super cool. Go down to like Guatemala or something. Guatemala, Costa Rica, go South
go
America.
to Oaxaca.
Yeah, Oaxaca. Go see
I've heard a lot about it.
down in Colombia.
Yeah.
Coffee farms.
Yeah. Dude,
you were in?
we did that. Yeah. We did that Guatemala trip last year, and it's like crazy how nice it is. Like it's definitely dangerous in like the big cities and stuff, but once you like we got to Antigua and it was awesome. Like felt safe, like no issues, like riding in coffee farms. And I mean, we went down there and dude, we had an awesome time. It was super fun.
Yeah.
I wish I got to do more bike riding trips, but one may be coming up.
Are you going to Whistler still?
I don't know what you're talking about. No, I'm not gonna. No, I'm totally not gonna be there. Nope, I'm not. Nope, I'm not going.
You got to be there the 7th to the 10th, or the 8th to the 10th.
Is that when you're still going to be there? Oh wait, no, that's when you're.
I have to shoot. Yeah, deep
summer.
going on. Yeah,
I need to get some blank gear then.
Blank gear.
Yeah. I need like a I'm trying to blend in, dude.
I'm shooting.
I'm not
shooting
here.
Is Frida going too?
This is what I was supposed to figure out today, but I was cleaning my house and unseizing my
life.
I'm seizing my life was actually seized up. No, I came home and I was like, I don't know what happened before I left, but man, there's a homeless person living in my house.
That's the freaking pro tip as an adult: is you clean your house before you leave for trips.
Yeah,
I fucking hate doing it, but every time I get home, I'm like, who did this? What a nice person did this for me.
Clear the fridge. Clear any fruits and vegetables that are like out.
No, I didn't do it.
That's why people listen to this podcast. Pro tips of life right here.
Yeah, I went to Mountain Creek. And then I went to Michigan and dropped my dog off. And then I came home and I was here for like 2 days and I had to do like a video shoot one day and the other day was just pack. And Frida's like, you didn't clean it all after I left. I was like, no, I didn't. I literally took all the stuff that would spoil out of the refrigerator and put it in the freezer. And I was like, I come home, garbage disposal, fully seized up, couldn't get the water to go down out of the sink. And I was like, Frida was like, she's like, what happened? It's like, I did my best.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, she was pissed.
Oh my God.
But yeah, it was like chaos trying to leave. But yeah, just literally took everything out of the refrigerator, opened the freezer and just shoved it in there and bailed.
I've never done that move. I've never even thought of doing that. If I'm being honest. Because like, I have a trash can in the alleyway.
Yeah, bring the trash can to the fridge and just throw everything in the trash can.
We gotta get you a compost. You got some property.
Dude.
Or get some chickens or something, you know?
Yeah, but then he's gonna have to have someone come feed the chickens.
Yeah, they'll eat each other eventually.
No, dude, like the weeds around my house are getting long and nature is starting to creep in. And
how's the grass looking that we planted?
Dude, hold on. You're coming with me. We're going on a tour. The people that are listening to this, I'm just gonna give you like a small.
Oh my God!
Wait, Dag, you got to keep talking so we can see what you're showing us.
That's my compost, but these like the weeds are as tall as me. Like, oh my Lord! Hold on. Look at this. This is my life now. I try to explain it to people. Tennessee is rough in the summer.
How hot is it there right now?
Probably like 85, but super humid is the big thing. Like the humidity is crazy.
Always humid.
Have to adjust my whole schedule just because of you got to ride by 8 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
Man, dude, the dirt jumps are just no longer there. No more dirt jumps.
Can't see them.
No.
That is insane. That's actually really okay. Wait, so Crankworx, are you racing then? I'm guessing you're not. If you're trying to act like you're not going,
You're trying to act like you're not going. I'm not going to be there. I don't know what you're
okay. That's all good news because that means we can just do fun stuff.
I want to shoot some photos of you kicking up your feet, maybe a little Mai Tai or something.
We're all going to do a podcast, like actually
in person.
Tanner, do you know when you're going to leave? Are you going to try to stay?
I'm never leaving.
We're going to do a podcast. See, this does not sound like vacation. This is why I'm not going.
What? No, we'll all sit around, have a few beers one night, and just ramble in person.
I am going to have flats on my bike for a week.
I know you don't want to go film, but God, filming a raw would be super fun.
You know, it wouldn't. Can you hike? Can you hike up and hit that?
Have you seen this man
I get
walk?
it takes effort. Oh yeah, you can't walk very well.
Yeah,
that's gonna take a long time if you're doing full laps.
He needs a bike caddy,
dude. I'll
push your bike.
My world is not going to be good unless I start getting some friggin' results. So I had plate 67 on my bike at wherever we were last.
Only two places off.
I know. 67 plus 2. I had scored no points, and I was like, literally before qualifying, I was looking at my bike, and I was like, what happened? I gotta get my life together. I've scored no points this year. None.
Wait, so if you're going to Whistler, then what's the plan?
I'm not going to Whistler.
Oh my God.
I need to train. I'm on get my life together mode.
I mean, it's a good place to test and train. You don't have to ride by 8 a.m.
Maybe not test, but definitely train. I think that's kind of the goal for the 6-week block. Well, luckily the last race I did good. So it's I've at least put my foot down that I can still ride fast. But
scored some brownie points.
Yeah, scored some brownie points. But I was for a minute there, I'm I'm gonna be looking for a friggin' job if I keep these antics up. The goal was to show progress, and I was showing no progress. I was getting smoked every
job
week.
for you. Looks like people need lawn care in the summer in Tennessee. So
yeah,
all else fails.
Good thing I got a tractor.
So you're not proving that you're very good at it right now based on your own yard, but
Jesus has taken the wheel, and it's
to kind of transition this into maybe an organized podcast. I don't know. At this point, I got to use what we've been talking about because we've been rambling for 30 minutes about good stuff. But my first note, because obviously we didn't podcast after La Thuile. Now it's 5 days after Andorra. These past 2 World Cups are kind of behind us. Everyone out there's probably listened to 1,500 other podcasts that are post-race talking about all the shit that happened. That's cool. My question for you, Dak, which we kind of have already hit on in a few different roundabout ways, but you were just chatting about maybe having to look at getting another job. But the reality is, you did 4 races, right, so far? Leogang, Val d'Isole, La Thuile, Andorra. You came into it being I'm just happy to be here. I'll see if I can walk the track. And then in Andorra, from the interviews I saw with you, the conversation was way more you weren't happy with where you were at. And so you put maybe didn't put higher expectations, but really locked in Andorra to I got to do something. So post-injury, you're back at World Cups. How do you look back on these first 4 races? And then how did it go in your mind? How do you treat this 6-week block and then going into the last block of races?
Yeah, I don't know. It was kind of, I think we talked a bit about this, and it was kind of I chose to progress at the races, right, and ride the tracks. I majorly underestimated how tiring it was going to make me to do a World Cup race, and how tiring it was going to be to do that 2-month block. I thought I was going to be able to train in between the races a bit more, and then just use the race weekends as walk the track, go through the process, ride, get some runs. And I found myself pretty wiped out from from the race weekends. Like, I wasn't able to take it as laid back as I wanted it. Just, I think due to the overall pace of the racing, like I thought I was going to come back into the race season last year, you know, and I found myself getting really frustrated with the fact that like in the past I could just like cruise her down and kind of be in the mix, you know, and go through qualify through the semi with a pretty cruisy run, you know, like ride down into 17th with like without much like stress. And I found myself there like pretty far off the pace, like trying to put down a run in time training and friggin' being in 45th place and going, what? Like, thought that was going to be a top 20, you know? And I think that was like pretty difficult for me to swallow and created like a lot of stress and pressure that I put on myself. And definitely like I kind of missed the ball on bike setup at the beginning of the year. And I wasn't really super comfortable with the bike. And I think it was showing in the results because I was like, one, I'm not able to ride as aggressive as I did in the past. So I needed a little bit of a different setup. And also I was like, maybe not riding as dynamic and putting as much weight on the front of the bike as I did in the past. So the Thuile, like I was West Coast choppers. Like, I had the front way too high and it was slippery. And I set the bike up for 15% of the track rather than 50, you know, or whatever. And so to speak, but it was like, I was pretty pissed off. Like I was annoyed. Like Leo Gang was good. I was like, sweet. Val de Sol, I was riding decent. Like, and I thought maybe it would have gone better. And then like after Q2, when I like had mechanical issues again, I was like, damn it. Like, okay, this was the hard one I needed to get through. Like, went to the Thuile, and I was like lacking confidence because it was like loamy and there was big roots underneath and you couldn't see what you were riding over. And I was kind of afraid to have like a crash because I was unprepared to hit something and not really super strong. Like it wasn't predictable. And I was like, it was unpredictable and I was lacking confidence. And then I kind of sat the bike up and tried to kind of go back in the other direction, but didn't go back fast enough and had a decent Q2, but was just genuinely off the pace all weekend there. And I was like pissed off. I was like, all right, dude, like it's time. The time is now. I'm not going to not qualify again going into the break. And like spent some time thinking on the drive to Andorra, and the track was a lot like it was when I almost won the Worlds. And I was like, okay, this week I don't have to worry about lines. I know how to ride this track. I know I can go fast here. I just need to focus on the riding. And like we made a plan with the neurologist to go back to the fundamentals and like feeling flow and just like kind of the things I felt like I needed to be myself, like have the confidence to stop and look at sections, have the confidence to kind of have fun on my bike and get a good feeling and then bring the speed up. And go back to like honestly, I got some help from Flo Payat, had a good talk with me, which I really appreciated. And the same with the lines coach for road racing. He does like the Italian, it's like a riding coaching group. And he had a good talk with me, and I was like, man, yeah, honestly, he just told me I look like myself again, and like started to like, you know, it looked like I was like cutting lines like I used to, and getting back towards like the Euros always in translation to English, they say they're level. Like you look like you're back on your level. And I felt like I was riding good. And then it was just like, okay, just trust my abilities as an athlete. But yeah, definitely was like, okay, came down in Q1 and came down in 26th, and I was pissed because I thought that was going to be enough to get in out of Q1. I was like, okay, I'm going out of Q1. Like, I'm not going to wait around and dick around and go to Q2. And like, I'm just going to go straight out of Q1, put a run down. And I came down in 26 and I was so mad, like had a little bit of a meltdown, like had a little pity party cry behind Gwin racing with Frida. And I was like, damn it. Like, I feel like I'm riding well and it's not enough. And I did like overbreak in a few spots and maybe not hit some things hard enough. And I think overall I was not feeling up. I wasn't ready to go the pace I needed to go with as little runs as I had, and then went up into Q2 and just like went for it, like went race run, and came down in Q2 second, and with one of actually a really fast time, and didn't feel super good on race day, but was able to put down a good time. Almost went over the last corner, which was a little irritating. I think I gave up a few positions, quite a few positions with that, but happy with a top 10. Like that was far exceeded expectations, and it just shows like how much my pace rises over the course of the weekend, and how maybe it's not that I don't have the speed, it's more a game of changing the change in format. And when you have a lot of confidence, it's easy to adjust that change of format or adjust that change of speed. But I was a rider that arrived in the race run and was relatively a bit slow until race run. So it's just a skill that I'm going to have to work on, of like trying to be more focused on track walk, more focused in the early runs, and then building the pace quickly, where like, yeah, the speed is there and I arrived at the race run, but it was the first time I was actually able to get to the race run to put a race run down. So some things to work on for sure, but overall genuinely happy with that. And, but was still a little annoyed with the last corner. That one stung a little bit. Still a little pissed off.
The corner looks scary.
I just like turned in early, got tire roll, got stood up, and then was like, I did the same line Bruni did. Sat up, turned under the holes, went to hit the second half of the corner that was still hard packed, and just like got tire roll, got stood up, and was like, and I thought I was like going over the bars off that last jump, and like literally probably had an inch of firm left. I mean, it was, I thought I was going over, and then I was like, I went across the finish line. I'm like, I'm live. But and then I was like, okay, if I get a top 15, like I'll be really happy. And then it was like a top 10. I was like super stoked, but I was like, damn, like that could have been like a good run, single digits. Like, and I came down, I was like, yeah, it was good. It was just slow. And it ended up not being as slow as I thought. But it just shows how people rise to the pace and then maintain the pace throughout the weekend. And I need to work on that.
It's crazy how much the pace has gone up with the change in format.
Dude, it's annoying. Like, it's just rewarding sending your life. And we see a lot of dudes that get to the pace quick and then can't build. And like you see, I think some of the top dudes have done a really good job at figuring it out. And other top dudes like not to call anybody out, but Coulange, like definitely hasn't figured. It's not like he's slow. It's just, I think he has struggled with the change of format, and, you know, like maybe lacked a little confidence in new bike, lacked a little confidence in the change. Like he told me he did 550 runs on the timer before the season is what the number was.
That's it.
That's it. five.
That one more. This could have been 551. He would have.
Yeah,
that's all it
like,
needed.
Yeah, it was like somewhere like over 500, somewhere around 550 runs I heard. And like that's from him. I was like, dude, I heard you did like 1,000 runs before the season. He's like, not that many, 550. And I'm like, wow, okay. But so there's like, but yeah, it's just different at the moment, and it's rewarding a bit of luck. Like, risk. And there's people that are great with it. Like Pinky is so good at getting up to speed so fast and is tapped the first day.
But maybe doesn't build just yet.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I think we can agree with that. But
Lucas Shaw seems like one that's also kind of had some issues where he's been fast every round and has kind of gone through in Q1 a lot of times in that like top 8, but then in finals it just kind of, like even from interviews I've seen with him, he's like, I had a good run. It just like didn't have that extra sparkle to it that like would have made it a podium run. and just trying to figure that out is so hard because everybody is doing that. Like everybody is going fast. I mean, I think I did the math right, but Leo Gang, you were 1.1 off qualifying. With Thuile, you were 1.7. That's not massive, you know, like especially for where you're at. I mean, I think if you did the math on like actual distance behind, it probably looks bigger than it sounds, like that amount of time. But like, it's crazy to think that that isn't qualifying, you know, like those are still super small margins. And I still think I'm a fan of the change. I guess if there had to be change, I think originally just one qualifying with 60 people seemed fine for me, but and no protected, just make one shot. I don't know. It's been good racing. As thinking about it as a racer, which I think everybody agrees with, it's obviously more stressful, and it's left a lot of big names not in finals. Maybe not even for like always bad luck, but just like you're talking about, just not getting up to speed fast enough. Yeah, I don't know. It like Andorra kind of just took the maybe excitement out of a little bit because everybody's hitting more or less like the same line. And so if you hit that same line and you just catch a little pebble just a little bit wrong, and then you lose that time, it kind of like, it still looks impressive, but on the clock, there's not a lot to really show for that. Where like Thuile is, I would say, like the best track we've had in this season, maybe in years, just from viewership. Riders seem stoked, a lot of lines, it's evolving, it's fresh, all those things. There's a lot more to separate people and give people the opportunity to separate themselves.
To me, I think Andorra was more like go-kart racing. Like when I looked at my run, I was like, it all looks the same, right? And it's just being like, it's like when you and your buddies go to K1 and race go-karts, right? Yeah. And you go down that long straightaway in the back and you don't want to let off the brakes, but Tanner does. And Tanner drives the same line, but like did a better job at like not bogging the cart down or braking a bit earlier than me. Where like when you go-kart racing, you just want to hold the throttle wide open and then you just go slow. Where we seen Bruni win the race was like, yeah, okay, he got under the holes in one corner, but I think it's more he was good enough to let off the brakes where he needed to align things to carry momentum later, which like when we seen you guys, when I first got on the podcast, we're talking about Amari riding off the track. That was not Amari going off the track. There wasn't an error in that corner. The error was not braking for the compression, to set up the compression, to be in the right place for the left, to enter the corner early enough to get the right trajectory out of the right. So it's like it's the same with me. Like I wanted to go fast so bad that I didn't use the brakes where I needed to, didn't get far enough right out of the compression, didn't set up the corner to be in the right place, had to bury the bike before that roll triple and lost speed. And it's like, to the untrained eye, you would never see that. But like to the viewer watching the race, you have to have years of racecraft to understand like where that race was won. Like when there was like the left right before the road gap, Bruni braked where everybody else didn't to get out of the left to set up the right to carry the speed off the road gap, and didn't, like you watch Jackson bury the bike in the dust in the corner, and it's like it looks fast but it's slow.
Yeah, and like that corner after that where Jackson buries his bike, you kind of got stood up in the corner after and probably lost a tenth, maybe like 0.15. And that's that pushes you way far back on the results.
Yeah, and it's though, and honestly, to be fair, the way the broadcast was filmed made it hard to see these things. Like Bruni in the hole, and there you come out of the gate, right, left, right. There's a little double. There was a big hole in that corner, and like he was really good at unweighting the bike over it, and then braked early, got under the holes in the left, was low in the right, and just like. I think Elliot Jackson's Red Bull video did a great job of showing that to someone that isn't trained enough to see it. But
it's hard to see.
It's super hard to see, and it's even harder for me as a racer to decipher these things on track. It's easy when you look back on the weekend and watch the broadcast. Oh, I'm a bonehead. Like, why'd I do that? You know,
it was cool to see the track change in a way, like it evolved over the weekend, and like this track changed differently than a lot of other tracks where I feel like this year we've seen a lot of riding high on turns, like riding real high above the bumps, above the like holes and stuff. But this track, it held moisture because it was so high altitude, and it held moisture lower below the holes, and you had more grip below the holes than above. So like it rewarded that little bit of setup, and then you carried more speed by staying low, and you'd have better traction.
Yeah.
And I mean,
but you can't see that when you're like just in it, kind of like not just micro focus.
Which I felt like Bruni's bike looked the best at Thuile, and there was some small details at Thuile that he executed things that I was like, I wasn't so mad that I went up on track to help Frida on race day, and I seen some things, and honestly, Nix is like a legend. Like the things, like I talked about on the podcast, how important Nix is to Loic's program. Like, dude, some of the stuff he schemed up that I seen in the race run, I watched him scheming it up, and then watched the race run and was like, ooh, that was good. It's cool to see, and had that level of commitment to his race program. That, like I said, the same with. It's a real race program. Like it's no joke, like what they're doing. And you watch like Jackson, it's like, I think Thuile still rewarded Jackson's, let's call it his skill set. And it was maybe Jackson's bike was a little better at Thuile. He went for a more supportive route, where Loic's bike was definitely going for grip and maybe a bit unsupportive. Which led to Jackson being able to get the win there. But the whole race program at Andorra, I mean, they have so much, like they've raced there for so many years, that what tires he chose, how the bike was set up, what lines he rode. It was like, that was straight up Bruni doing the homework. And he said to me after the Thuile, he said, yeah, he got me. Wait till next week. He was like, he knew he was going to win Andorra before he showed up. Like, just, it was a lot of racecraft, and full hillbillies, and I was like worried about rolling, and he's on hillbillies. It's just like they just have so much history and preparation. I don't even know the word to call it. Maybe you guys have a word better, but it's literally preparation, and it's easy.
But it was very quintessential Loic. Like, rise to the occasion. Knows that like he is obviously has been going for the overall. I think he even said that he's been like trying to play it safe, overall in mind, 10 rounds, and now he's like, I just need to win one, and wins the next one when he says he needs to win one.
Well, that was like the note I have. Is I'm like, I don't know though. Loic was more happy to just win the race or just to beat Jackson, because he's been talking a lot just about like. Obviously, winning is what's important, but to beat Jackson, you pretty much have to win now. But he definitely was talking about that more than I expected him to, as being like the cool, calm Loic we're all used to.
Dude, he can be a dog. Like I think we have a good relationship, and I'm lucky that. I mean, I feel like I'm friends with Loic. I mean, I don't know if we really are or not. I don't know, but I went over after the race, said congrats. You know, like went out of my way to, you know, I think he's a good dude, and we have a pretty good relationship. But he can be a dog. He will, like I said, he will, when it's competition and he needs to play the mind game, he's really good at it. And definitely he doesn't do it with me, because I think we have a pretty genuine relationship, and maybe he doesn't see me as much of a threat. But listening to that finished in those two in the finish line was like, gnarly. Jackson's been poking the bear too, big time.
I wonder how much somebody like Jackson reads into it all. I mean, he won 4 in a row, incredible, and he's still leading the overall. All those positives, like he seems like a person that maybe doesn't sweat the small stuff too much. Like he feels that momentum and it's carrying him still. And maybe if anything, this is lights a little bit of fire underneath them to get beat right before the break.
We'll say he was doing laps on Tuesday.
It's true. But what he been doing laps anyways had he won? He was playing golf back in Whistler yesterday. So, I mean, it's just cool that we have two riders that are really fast this year and very unique in different riding styles and bike setup and all those things. Like a note I had written down from Thuile was like, what plays more of a factor for Jackson is the fact that he's a smaller rider or that he's riding a proportionately large bike for his rider size. Because he is so poppy and bouncy and
he runs
gapping and everything.
Zero sag. Dude runs no sag. Bruni runs all the sag.
Yeah.
I mean, Bruni's handlebars are on the floor, so he runs a smaller bike because the bike gets really long when the bars are that low. So he rides a smaller chassis to get more weight on the front. Jackson is not heavy, so he doesn't need weight to turn. Like turning a 90 kg human versus Jackson is completely different. So it's interesting to see two completely different ways of getting it done. But like I will say that coming home, I'm ready to make some changes. And I'm like, even like today has just been a lot of thinking of what do I do in the next 6 months and what is going to make me go the fastest. There's two very like interesting, there's two very interesting ways
Schools of thought.
Yeah. Schools of thought. That's like cool. And also I think Fox suspension runs in one direction, and like, my fork is not going to work like Loic's fork. Like running that much sag is impossible. So
I want to know what Jackson's doing with his wheels if he's running no sag, like wheels and tires. What his spokes, like the tension on spokes, and then also his pressures.
Dude, he runs a ton of pressure. He's not
I
running.
feel like I saw that somewhere. He's like normal for what like you and I would run, Tanner.
Okay.
I think he's somewhere in the ballpark of like 28-ish rear, 25-ish front, maybe.
Yeah, but that's with the new casing. Like I'm running 21-26 is my baseline. So you're bigger. Yeah, I would consider that high pressure.
Yeah, I would agree at World Cups. I mean, let's say you've been trending towards a set the last couple of years. It's more Bruni-esque, bit less airspring support, more damper support.
Yeah, suspension wise, but like
suspension wise, not
overall setup is completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, I bounced on his bike at Champery. He bounced on mine. Like,
but I mean, you could say a lot of Jackson's setup, I guess, besides bike fit and the way he sits in the bike, you're kind of going for similar-ish as far as at least being tall on the bike.
I'm like a mix, right? Like, I'm similar in terms of bar height and chassis length, but I'm running I will say that I was running a much less supportive setup, and I've actually like made a big push to I'm going kind of back more traditional Fox. I mean, like I'm not at the limits anymore. Like I'm more of a normal setup.
So like for Jackson, the only time you see him rounding out corners is when he's riding bike park turn, top of the corner, above the holes or below the holes. And that's the only time he's rounding out corners for the most part. He's like riding like a pump track. He's like cornering quick and like real snappy. And then he's like pumping everything. So I feel like his riding style is fully adjusted towards his bike setup and suspension setup.
Dude, and Santa Cruz kind of ride that way a little bit too.
Yeah,
like they're really quite responsive bikes.
Like his feel and his like touch on track is really good.
Well, the Santa Cruz, because it has so many triangles on the chassis, the Santa Cruz is so vertically stiff that like it is really good at like when you smash, and this is a Santa Cruz characteristic, when you smash it into something, they accelerate super fast out, right? That chassis is not maybe made to have maximum grip. It's just for maximum like rolling speed. Like when you pump something, when you pedal, like it's vertically super stiff, and that
And it
accelerates.
likes kind of sitting, like if it does get into travel, being in the middle of the travel. Like,
Yeah, but
it doesn't feel it doesn't feel good when it's like in that 30% range.
He's running like 19 mil.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
Nothing.
you get to ride high or you ride in the middle. Like you go deep in the travel or you just ride it high in the travel. And then once you get the big hits, it feels really good at 50% to 75%.
I got one sitting in my garage right now. I'm pretty hyped to ride it in like a week and a half in Whistler. And I think it's sitting by my desk. Hold on. I bought ankle weights to strap to the down tube so I can make my V10 as heavy as Jackson's V10. 2 pounds. I don't know if that gets turned around for you guys or not. But
Genuine ostrich.
yeah, I just before this went and checked, and the one nice thing about a V10 is it's got a lot of real estate near the bottom bracket to put all kinds of crap on it. So these work perfectly. And also, fun fact, if you want to add weight to your bike, it's super hard to do. At least just Googling things. It's hard to find things that work.
Most people are using like the wheel weight stickers.
So, dude, the wheel weights don't weigh a lot, though. That's the problem.
You gotta stack them all up.
Got to stack them.
Put them onto a sheet, and then you put that sheet onto your bike.
I did some super quick math, and for the ones I could find on the internet and to buy easily, I would have had to have put over 100 to get to Jackson's weight. He has 4 pounds. More than 4 pounds of weight on his bike. That is absurd.
So does weight matter more than sag? Like where your weight is placed on your bike, does that matter more than the amount of sag you're running?
One of the fun things we are going to do with these is I'm not just going to put these by the bottom bracket. Like I fully plan to put these on different parts of the bike. But dude, like literally put one up by the head tube, put one maybe like on the fork lower as if it'll fit. Try to get one near the rear axle, but like, I think the weight thing for it's super contradicting of the way he rides, right? Like he is so poppy and agile, and then if your bike's heavy, it's less of that. But like maybe he's trying to find that balance.
If you have don't have much sag, your bike's going to be poppy and agile.
And if it has no sag, it's also going to be chattering because you're not sitting into like the stroke. So maybe that helps balance that all out. Yeah,
the
pulls
weight
it down.
low. Yeah.
I mean, I think Pink Bike did the bike weights from one of the last 2 rounds, and his wasn't absurd. It was like 41, maybe 41 pounds, 40 pounds. I mean, it was within the range of everybody else because
it wasn't in the
V10
range.
is light. Yeah. They're definitely making his bike weigh on par with everybody else's, but yeah, I'm excited to strap weights to it. I'm excited to ride that bike because most of the Santa Cruz I've ridden in the past, more like trail bike enduro bikes, aren't the most comfortable bikes in my experience. They are fast, and the geo is like really good. So it'll be fun to ride a V10.
I've always felt like they had a speed limit. The Santa Cruzes I'd ridden in the past,
like aside from the V10, harsh to me sometimes.
But like once you start riding and pushing on it, it like almost wants to kill you. But it feels really good at 80%.
It could be because they're just stiff, you know, like stiff bikes.
I haven't ridden
one. Control it or fast. I know. I don't want to talk on my
last 5 years. So like, this was.
If Kieran listens to these right now, he's just like pulling his hair out. But, yeah, it'll be stood the test.
It's really Sorry, I'm really bad at this talking over. I think I always find a gap and then there's no gap. We need like a buzzer, like when you're about to talk. Sorry, but the Santa Cruz, if you pull that bottom bash guard, like it's really easy to put wheel weights underneath. There's like a big gap underneath of like the rock bottom bracket bash guard. Like we have like I think 700 grams underneath Frida's frame, like underneath the bash guard. Also, you can get like a roll of roofing lead, and you can get like a pound pretty easy underneath of the actual bash guard. So like maybe that starts as like a baseline for you.
I'll just send you the link to these ankle weights. They were like $10. They've got a big old strap. I mean, it might not. I mean, it kind of looks pretty. I don't know.
Don't church it up now.
The only thing I want that ankle weight for is on the steering wheel of my Ford pickup truck, so I don't have to keep my hand on the wheel. So I could order
the disclaimer is I have no idea if this Velcro will actually keep these on. There's definitely a high chance with some water and mud that this goes flying off. So
Yeah.
all right, moving down a list of random thoughts and talking about things. You guys had a new-ish bike. Has it got chainstay adjustment, it looks like now?
Yep. I mean,
cute.
we had 10 mil chainstay adjustment. Now
You
we
did?
have more. Yeah, yep. I had
How was it done before? Because now it's like different dropouts.
it was like a flip chip, but now we're on dropouts.
Do you have longer options now? Because you've kind of been trending long, so
Yeah, I'm around 460, I think, at the moment, which has been a good number. I think
longer than consumer for pretty much any bike.
the new bike's 460, and I felt like we're gonna go 465 probably. We lack a bit of stability when you're going mock chicken.
You got like the gravy boat, and you're like the bottom bracket. What's the two screws there? Is that to put weights or something?
Yeah, it's for putting weights in the BB.
That's pretty sick.
So yeah, they just like screw in. We can do.
You don't add weights though.
Yeah, I run 500 grams at the bottom bracket. It's just in my down tube, so you can't see it.
So what can you guys run with that option now?
I think we can run up to 5 pounds, maybe, with just bolting it on. I think no, not quite that much. I think we can pretty easily run 1,000 grams without sticking anything on. Just bolt it on over 1,000 grams, which is cool. And our bike is now heavier around the bottom bracket, anyways, like as a baseline. So essentially, all of the testing from the last Mondraker prototype, everything that the riders used on the last bike is now the baseline for the new bike. So the bottom bracket is lower. The bottom bracket area is already 500 grams heavier. What we were running with the headset cups is now the middle, and it's just like the next iteration of the bike, and all the development that we've actually done. They're actually taking the feedback, and our race engineer Pablo has done some maneuvering to make that the new baseline and change some weaknesses of the bike that we thought were needing to kind of get updated. And yeah, we still got to do some more testing, but overall the testing went pretty well with the bike. We did 2 days on it on the Andorra World Cup track, and it was definitely eye-opening because I've been such a suspension guy for so long. But some changes to the kinematic and some changes to compliance of the frame that were like really eye-opening on how much that can change ride feel.
And then was only Greg riding that last weekend?
Yeah, he's test rider for the bike, so he's like getting the maximum number of runs on it. Essentially, like the bike was really good in the lab, but putting real world application in a controlled environment.
Sick.
How much weight do you think you would actually add? Like, is there a point that you're like, I don't want my bike to weigh too much, or do you not really care if it rides well?
I haven't tested it. And this is like something that's been a big question mark in my head is I've never actually made the bike heavier or lighter and done testing laps. Like maybe if you had like a 1 minute section at Fort William or a 1 minute section on a track where like it had a various, like some corners that you come out slow, some high speed sections, like have like a good 1 minute of testing that you could ride at full pace. I would really like to try it, but yeah, we haven't done any. I haven't done any testing like that.
What happened to the rear axle shake weights? Are you guys still running those or no?
I ran it at Andorra. It depends on the track. It's to help with a specific feeling. Like you wouldn't run it on some tracks, but you would run it on others. Like Fort William. Why? Because anytime you put weight like that at the axle, like it helps stick the bike to the ground, but at the same time, if you're if the weight's going in the other direction, that weight is also taking that momentum and pushing it. So like a track like Val di Sole with a lot of big shelves, like when you're already feeling like you're getting pushed, it's going to amplify that effect.
Interesting. I need to get some mass dampers and strap them to every piece of my bike.
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of them. We use them in different ways and in different places on the bike, but the only place I haven't ran one that I would want to is kind of in the seat post area. Like, I think if you could shove it down in the seat post, like some people do, like that would be really, really good. And it has a really good effect. But like when you try to bunny hop something, literally you're fighting the mass damper. So it like makes it feel harder to hop. But at the same time, like when you're like getting shattered and the bike is getting kind of thrown off the ground, like say like you're braking on shelves, having that weight in the frame would actually make it like stick to the ground a bit better and resist like the bike rebounding into the air.
Unload. Yeah.
I think just having weight at the bottom bracket helps with the seesaw in general.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
E-bikes, dirt bikes. It all makes sense.
I mean, having a mass damper or whatever is like almost like having a crank in your dirt bike. Like it's kind of keeping everything like aligned.
Yeah, I mean it's shaking the whole time. Like no matter what you're riding, that it is going up and down. So it's like it is a lot like having crank inertia, which is like an interesting feeling, like something to keep the bike almost a little bit vertical. But yeah, having it at the axle is like it's incredible in some places, and then other places it's like maybe not as incredible. So it does help with like braking and some of that some feeling that you're trying to some other feelings that you're trying to amplify.
Dang.
Frida got in finals back to back.
Yeah,
dude,
that was sick.
What's up with that?
She's a doggy.
Sure.
We had to talk about the braking bumps are where you brake. You don't.
That was the the talk after Val di Sole, right?
We had a heart to heart, and all of a sudden she's hauling. No, I think this is going to sound crazy, but I think she's finally back, like to being herself and riding like herself. And she was kind of feeling like she wouldn't race anymore after this year, and now she's like starting to see progress again, and she's pretty fired up. And it's pretty sick because I think she's the only one that's like an actual privateer. Like some of the other girls that are privateers have like their dads there kind of doing everything for them. So like she's like by herself working on her bike herself, like no mechanic, no support at all. So it's pretty sick to see her like the only privateer in finals, and like I think the only person really doing it in competitively in the girls class all by herself, doing all of her bike work and changing her own tires and everything. She's raced a dirty bike every week. Like pretty sick.
Not too fond of washing bikes.
Well, I mean, if it's washing bikes or eating lunch, you're eating lunch and racing a dusty bike, you know?
True.
And if it's between changing your tires and changing the tires you need or washing the bike, you're changing tires.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's just cool to see her back to herself, riding to her potential. And I mean, she's had some really fast splits, and yeah, she's happy with her setup, happy with the bike and the V10 with the Owens, and she's pumped and she's ripping.
That's sick. It's good to hear.
Yeah.
With them Burgtec handlebars.
Heyo, there we go.
Max's tires, right?
Max's tires, Burgtec handlebars.
Yeah.
Man, she might have to replace you on this podcast. She fits it a bit better, actually.
If we get a fourth person on here, we're really going to talk over each other.
That's how you know we're good at this.
Yeah, I mean, it's two people in a podcast is pretty easy, or two people in a room is pretty easy to podcast. Three people is actually quite hard. So we're getting better.
3 people remote too.
Yeah. You
Always remote.
you can't tell when somebody's going to lean in like they're going to talk, you know? It's just all of a sudden like you got a little bit of a lag on the video and then you've started talking and somebody's mouth is already moving and you're like, oh no.
Dude, yeah. There's always a lag too with how the audio kind of rises and drops if two people are talking where you can like you think somebody's stopping, but they're actually not. Yeah. What do you guys want to keep talking about? We've been podcasting for a minute, actually. I don't know where I'll have the opportunity to start this from, but my jaw hurts from talking already, so I don't know how much longer I have.
I'm going to say I don't think anyone missed the junior racing this weekend.
Oh, come on.
What? I have a note here that says junior men are going stupid fast.
Yeah.
It is, the junior men's class is the tightest points chase for the overall.
I think only between 3 people.
There's 4.
It's a good talking point because Max had the fastest time of the week, fastest recorded time of the week.
Yeah, I will say though that Gwin TV from Thuile, Loic said, "Why don't the juniors just race with the pros? Because they're going just as fast."
Okay, so if the argument is that there should be a junior category that runs longer to give people more time to come to speed, you know, come to ages racer. What do you do with people like Allrins, Tyler Waite, Asa, who are like dumb fastest of 17, 18-year-old? Do they, like, they still would be in the junior class to like try to win their championship and then go to the elites, right?
I mean, I think the U23 option or like U21 is a solid option.
Is that how that works though?
What, like that they can still like 16, 17 or 17, 18-year-olds? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can still be like U21. And then you can just leave the U21 class and race at the elites.
See, I feel like there still would be a junior or a U23 class.
Like, I don't see the need for it in the show. Like, if you're going to have juniors going faster than the elites, what's the, like, I don't know, it makes the elites, it just downgrades the elites.
Maybe after qualifying, they should just rank everybody in the top 30. Like, if you're an elite and you don't make the top 30, if you get beat by a junior, your spot gets taken.
No,
you're on a different track, different time. Like,
dude,
they'd all have to race together.
They race right after the track's been cleared. So it's like track gets cleared in the morning. You can do a million miles an hour. It's all clean in the bottoms of the corners. You can hook. And then they race, women race, 20 other dudes race. And then at the end of the day, when it's all dried out and there's no moisture left, there's no line in it, there's no groove, the boys get to play. And then, listen, we've seen Jackson come in. We've seen Jordan come in and be on pace. Like, they are fast. But when we're talking about a 2-second gap to qualify at some of the races, like, that clean track makes a big difference in 2 seconds.
Yeah,
yes, totally. They're good. Like, all of them. Asa can come in and put down top 10 times. Max. I'm just saying, when you show up at even the difference between dropping at 2:30 when there was 80 riders to 3:30, when you go to those 3-minute gaps, the track dries out. Like, the main line dries out a ton, and there's a lot less grip, and it makes it so much more impressive what the top boys do at the end of the day.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm like. I don't know. I think there needs to be, if you're going to sell it as an elite sport and stuff, it's like you don't have F2 in the F1 show. Like, you don't have Craftsman Truck Series racing with NASCAR like on the same day. Like,
wasn't it last year where there was juniors race the day before, right?
Yeah. I think it should be even like during the week before, like well before before the elites and stuff. And then that's when you have your feeder series run and all of that. Or you do it after like futures. You do it the day after.
Yeah. Hopefully this Continental Series stuff turns into something worthwhile.
Yeah, but
because it really is a lot of what we've talked about, you know.
At the same time, this points thing is super, super annoying. Like, I have like no points. Frida can't even qualify to race a World Cup, and she's been in 2 World Cup finals.
Yeah,
she's gonna have
to win nationals, right?
She has to, like, she doesn't, like, they give away so many points in the Continental Series races. She has more points from racing the monster races than she does making World Cup finals. Like once her points go away as a national champion, she can't qualify. She literally can't register to race a World Cup, and she's been in the final the last 2 weeks, which is like I had played 67 on my bike. I'm just losing points. Like I if I wasn't on a team, I wouldn't be able to race a World Cup. I wouldn't be able to register.
Next year would be interesting also to see what teams like. I mean, what happened to Aaron last weekend? Because he
hurt his elbow, right?
Yeah.
Oh
he
dang!
crashed.
Same one?
No, his other one.
Other one. He
I don't know if
just
that's good or bad.
crashed, put his arms out and hyperextended his elbow, and he said he was feeling like much better. Like even on race day, he was like, "This morning I could like stretch it out and do a push up," but he said just the next day it was like really weak, and we went and had dinner with him. He was like pretty bummed out after, and you know, because he's riding super well and just he's kind of had a bit of a silly crash. That rut was blown and just kind of tucked the front and put his elbow out, and then he's had a silly injury. But dude's ripping. I rode behind. I got dropped pretty hard by him in practice. It's like, damn, man, I thought I was going good. See ya.
But yeah, like the teams like Rogue Racing is gonna be like, dude, what's gonna happen with their budget? Is it gonna skyrocket? Like, are they just gonna pull in the money? Like,
I mean, knowing downhill racing, probably not, but you sure would hope so.
Yeah, they've got like the they're like an 11-10 mods situation right now. They got like just like a crazy fast bike and like real good team setup, but it's not sustainable. Maybe at the rate that it's going, they need to have some money, a little influx of cash coming in there. Seems like, at least from the outside.
Yeah, right. It makes you wonder, like, dude, like a team like Pivot, everyone keeps talking about, like, what is going to happen with them? You know,
that was Sven and Needles talked about. I think was like, is Rogue Racing going to be the Pivot team next year?
Yeah, right. Like, if it really does turn into where, like, Pivot as the example, if they want to have a World Cup team, like, they can't be a part of Bernard's program. They got to be a part of somebody else's to actually like have a foot in the door. I mean, right now, Rogue Racing is sitting in 8th.
Yeah.
In the team overall, ahead of Cube, Yeti, Mondraker, MS, Intense, Frameworks, Trek, Commensal, Les Oies, like a bunch of Atherton, Giant, Scott.
Yeah.
It's a lot of big name teams that are, because it's what? Top 15?
Top 15? Yeah. Plus 5 wild cards, I think.
I mean, I guess when you look at it like that, I mean, there's the list I'm looking at after Andorra only includes teams that have points, and that's 23 teams. So right now, the bottom 3 would be Goodman Santa Cruz, Gwin Racing, Team High Country. But there's teams on there like Pivot that aren't included because they actually don't have points. But Pivot could be the only factory team that doesn't have points that I'm aware of. Yeah, I don't know. It's all kind of stupid. World Cup racing is kind of goofy when you look at it from that angle. Downhill bikes are cool. All of the politics are kind of goofy.
Yeah.
Reece Wilson, 2 finals back-to-back with flat pedals. Maybe that's all he needed this whole time. We've given Reece a lot of shit this year because like their bikes don't really look like they're working. They look like they're really fun to ride, but all it could take is him getting like a podium, and I feel like the whole narrative would change.
I mean, he could do it next week too. That's the thing. The right track, the right situation. Reece Wilson just goes and wins the race if he like gets confident and believes in it, you know. And then the whole thing would just turn around, you know. It's so like at this like right now, the things are so up and down.
Yeah, he can. I feel like he's one of those dudes that can just turn it on like randomly and just all of a sudden just get on a run and just.
I mean, he has.
On the bowl, yeah. Yeah, sick to see him like kind of turn it around. Sick to see Laura Greenland in finals. That was cool.
This week with the early mornings, like I guess we haven't really like touched on that at all yet. man, 8 to 9 a.m. practice has been rough. Like just
6
in
a.m. wake
general,
up.
like just in general, like seeing the junior race canceled because of rain. Like I don't know what the weather was at the top of the track, but it seemed like there wasn't that much rain, and like the schedule now like can so quickly change, like who's in the final and what's going on, and it's just really interesting to see like rain in the forecast and then the race get completely moved and junior women and junior men canceled. Like I felt like that was like pretty wild to see after we've seen for how many years, you know, the saga of World Cup racing being, you know, top 5 guys get rained out at Lords, or the track becomes unrideable. And that's what makes World Cup racing like so special or so gnarly. Like, I mean, I was plagued by it last year. And then, you know, it was just really interesting to see things get so skewed by such a wild change in the schedule. And I think that made for a little bit of a chaotic feeling race.
Mm-hmm.
I had heard that is something that's kind of unique to Andorra, though, because it's not the organizers that were choosing the changes. It's the government, municipality, whatever the heck you might call it, that makes that call that then the organizers have to like abide by. And this might be like not fully accurate, but I don't think it was like, because I agree, the change or the canceling juniors felt very premature. Like, why not just wait till the next day, and then if it doesn't work, you cancel it in the moment, sort of thing. I guess there's maybe cons to that of like leading everybody on and the stress of like, are you going to race or are you not? But I kind of had heard more that that's what it came down to, like for safety and stuff, that the organizers had to put that out there, because it seemed weird with like juniors to like the day before be like, there's this storm coming, we're in the mountains where everything's unpredictable with weather, but we're just going to go ahead and cancel it. Like, it did seem kind of ridiculous. And it's unfortunate, but because Andorra's had weird stuff with weather the last 2 years, I think. So I think Loonville's kind of like the only other one where that one might have been different. I don't know exactly. But it is funny because this year has been maybe the driest World Cup season in like the past 5 years, and most consistent every round. In the first round where there's like potentially rain, they're like, we got to get this shit done. Or even in Thuile, like we didn't chatted, maybe it's not even worth really going into just how they had like the big pause in the elites to like definitely not let that storm roll through, but like definitely kind of let that storm roll through before everybody finished racing. But yeah, some weird stuff like that for sure. You know, I don't really remember that happening with Red Bull TV. I'm just saying.
There were Thuile, there were a lot of crashes. That was a pretty brutal one to watch.
Yeah, I think it's been interesting to see how much the schedule has affected it. It seems like people peak too early and then end up like kind of struggling with that pace on finals of like, I mean, Andorra, I think the track was a little more straightforward, so it maybe didn't come off that way. I think there was more mistakes than big crashes there, but like Amari but I think it's just interesting to see if forced errors recently in like racing, in the racing in general. Like, I think we've seen it both like in the junior category and in both the elite categories, just overall forced errors. Like the stress is high, the pace is high, you have to get to it super fast. Then you like, and then Andorra, you have all these early mornings, you're probably not getting enough sleep, you're like getting up at 6, you got to be on the chairlift at 7:30 in the morning, like, and racing, like for us it was really weird because it was like 2:30 and it felt like 6 o'clock at night. Like, oh, I was like, after the race I was like, we fully did the deal, did the race, hung out, we were packing down pits, almost the pits were all taken down, like it's 2:30, it feels like 6 o'clock at night. Like I was like completely wiped after the weekend, just because you weren't really like, it's when it's daylight until 10:30 at night, it's hard to go to bed at 9, you know. You're like laying there, it's still light outside, you're like trying to, I mean, for the girls, like maybe a little more normal, but just like, wow, for me, it was super tough. Like I felt like I was like not well enough rested. And then you're at the top racing like super quick after practice. And yeah, just overall, the whole thing felt like very rushed.
Just back to B practice ways. You've forgotten where you started.
I know, dude. 7:30 on the chairlift at Lord's. Like, need a flashlight to get down the track. The rocks are so icy at the top.
Yeah. Let's just go risk our life before the sun's even up. Hobbies include.
Yeah. I was like, dude, I was like at dinner. I'm like, yeah, like I am stoked. Like 10:30 practice tomorrow, whatever it is, 10 o'clock practice, little sleep in, and then the text comes through, and I'm like, really? 8 o'clock again? Like, you're kidding me.
All
What
right,
else do you guys want to talk about?
I think that's most of like the scuttlebutt from the last couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's, you know, if you haven't watched the racing, I think you can go on YouTube and just watch the highlights that the UCI has put out to get caught up. I went through the overall and kind of wrote down for each category where everybody's at and gave a little bit of context on where they finished and how that affected top fives in each class. But outside of that, you know, like between Thuile and Andorra, there were some standout rides. I think you can go on Roots and Rain and kind of paint that picture pretty clearly for yourself. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we just kind of breeze over all of that.
Jump through it.
Yeah,
I see the notes you have down there. Like, I think it's pretty interesting to see. Like, the first note is Gracey, that was absolutely hooking.
Yeah,
it's interesting to see what track she's done well at, and what kind of her trajectory has been for the year. Like, it just seems like she's absolutely tapped in the last split, and either she gets to the finish line or she doesn't.
It's what blows me away is just her change from last year to this year. Like, I think if this was a year ago, it would have felt completely normal because there was a lot of anticipation with her, and she is obviously fast. But last year at this point, it was kind of like, oh, just one of those people that hasn't really figured it out, or like maybe it's the new team, or like yada yada yada. And to see her fully turn that around has been pretty impressive and crazy. And like obviously winning 2 races and all those things. And yeah, it's I mean, she has a very noticeable different intensity, I would say, compared to some of the other girls. Like, she does not look like she's hesitating in sections that are gnarly. And maybe it is just like another new generation. I would say too, like the Tawny, Cami, Marin, Miriam generation, they look a lot less settled on like the flowy, jumpy, carry momentum. They look a bit more like uncomfortable, maybe. Where like Gracey, Jess Blewett, like somebody just like the newer, younger riders are. It blows me away, and like the top bit too, just like how fast they can be and how comfortable they can look. Like top bit of Andorra, that is. Yeah, I don't know. I'm hyped to see where Gracey kind of keeps going because she's got like a ton of them. I mean, crashing right where you crashed last year in Andorra and then still finishing 5th is pretty nuts. Saves her for the overall a little bit as well. Yeah, it's sick.
Davide Palazzari.
Dude,
you had a chat with him, right?
Yeah, I mean, I gave him I gave him a pat on the back when he went through, and then also like when he came back up, he was standing like there's like the whole finish corral, and he was standing like by himself against a tent with a few of his like close team, like his team staff that help him particularly. And I was like, dude, he's like, I'll only accept this because I know you know how I feel right now. I'm like, dude, you don't forget splits like that. You don't forget speed like that. Like to me, and I said this to Amar or younger peer on brother after when he got
Antoine?
a flat Antoine Viron after Val di Sole. I'm like, sometimes your biggest failures become your biggest successes. And at the time, it's like a learning lesson you hate, and it's terrible, and you feel like, why me? For sure, like a bit of that. But afterwards, you're like, yeah, okay, I did that, and I can do that again, which is kind of a cool feeling. And he was fourth in Q1, super fast, and then backed it up in finals and had some of the fastest. I think he was fastest in maybe the second or third split, like on the week.
Yeah, he was up by like 2 seconds or something.
2.3 or something like that at the third split, which was like pretty gnarly. And I mean, it's the same thing. Like, I talked to Luca after the race, and he's like, we talked about the margin that we got beat by, considering there's such a large win margin, like not that far off the podium, but like when you look at the winning margin, it's like a bit in your throat, like a bit sickening. How, and we wouldn't have said that before, but right now, how fast some of the guys have went with the pace being so consistent and so close between the middle of the pack.
Yeah, it sucks that he got a DNF or DSQ.
Yeah, pretty lame.
Yeah.
Like, doesn't even get splits
or points.
Yeah, or points.
Because you would have got at least 30, I'm pretty sure, no matter what. Like, if you're last, you just get 30, which ain't nothing.
Not a lot.
And it, for us fantasy playing folk, it definitely screws you pretty hard.
Yeah. Him and Thomas the Stack didn't start. Do you know what happened to him?
He had a crash in practice and came down and was having some neck pain and was he went to the hospital to get checked out. He wasn't able to like kind of hold his head up, and so he went to get checked out. I think everything's good though. I think it was just like maybe a sore neck from a crash. It didn't show any signs of like fractured vertebrae in the neck or anything like that. So yeah, definitely crazy because he was riding really, really fast this week.
Dylan Maples as well broke his hand.
Dylan Maples crashed in the same section, and he crashed in practice and qualified through in Q1 or something, or no, crashed in Q1, had a big crash, and then
went through in Q2.
Went through in Q2, which is crazy because I seen him after and he could barely walk, which was like really impressive. And then woke up and was really sore and tried to just ride down, and then ended up having a big crash at the bottom. A lot of crashes in that section. We see Millie almost have a huge one in the bottom, and it was slippery on race day. And it's like the line there is very fine for the speed of how fast you're going. Like it's not like I was doing the gap high next to the tree, kind of like the main line, and went away from it on race day just because it was getting like quite gnarly. Like the room for error, there wasn't a lot of room for error. And then also on the sides of the track, there was like a lot of loose rock. Like if you were to crash, you'd just go into a boulder field. I mean, I've had my issues with that section. It was crazy to see how loose some of the riders were getting through that side. Like Millie, like almost had a hugie and ended like a really solid run.
Yeah, that was sick to see her on podium.
Yeah.
It's been wild to see Valentina Roa Sanchez. She has been 11th in Q1 almost every week and then not qualified through Q2. So this is her first final of the year.
Yeah.
Dude, that's rough. And she's like, it always blows me away. Like her social presence with being from Colombia is massive. And she's incredibly fast. So like, yeah, it feels weird to say like, oh, maybe her first final of the year. I finished I think 6th, maybe?
Yeah, 6th. Yeah,
which is solid.
Really good result for her.
Yeah. Hopefully, it's got to feel good before a break to get results like that. Same for Millie, and Frida for that fact.
Yeah, I mean Martin Maes like going crazy fast. That was really cool to see because I talked to him a bit. And I'm like, dude, it's got to be weird to be coming into the sport as a full-time in the sport, trying to develop into a downhill racer, the same as Richie. It's been hard for Richie to develop. I mean, he's had a little bit of a hard time this year after having like big success last year, but being a World Cup winning athlete for Martin Maes and been a star in EWS. It's like wild to see him now like start to pick up the pace and downhill and like had a really strong showing on the weekend.
Yeah, it's nuts. I think that's what did he get? He got 9th at the first World Cup. Didn't qualify for 3 in a row, then has gone 7th and 4th, which is super impressive. I mean, the Orbea team got their first ever, well, I should say FMB team got their first ever team overall victory this weekend, which was really rad to see. With Tawny winning, I say this weekend, but last weekend in Andorra. And then Oliver Zoir was in 15th. Who's the other one? Oscar Griffiths? Is that who's also on that team?
No, Oscar
is he
Griffiths is on Intent.
Who am I thinking of or is it just Phoebe Gale?
Phoebe Gale.
Is that it? There's another elite male?
No, just
Ollie Zoir and Martin Maes.
But it's been cool to see them stand behind Ollie, and now he was hurt all last year, got healthy, and now he's been like putting out awesome results. Like we say he was in 15th this week because he's been doing super well, but 15th for Ollie Zoir last year at the beginning of last year would have been like a career best result. I think he went 6th at Leger a year or two ago, and that was like for him like life-changing, I think, as far as like top results. I mean, he was like going pretty fast on the Union, but as a factory rider with factory pressure, it's been a little bit of a different situation. But FMD team of the day, which is, I mean, I think the first time for them because they've never had a competitive elite male, and it's like both their elites did good. Tani won, like huge success for that program.
Yeah, it's sick. Yeah, it's kind of funny to think about like before we went to the semifinals and finals, how like a top 20 was like something to really stand on, and now with it just being top 30 and how you get there with Q1, Q2 and all that, it's like being top 20 is still dumb impressive. I mean, top 15 is crazy impressive, especially nowadays when you look at the time and how few seconds you're behind to be in those positions. Even like Luca this in Andorra was like 17th or something like that, and not that many seconds off of like where you were, I was
just at the front of that bubble, luckily, because there's a few dudes that were just behind me and slotted in like pretty heavily stacked in the mid back. But pretty crazy to see like Juanfer on the weekend go like for him like doing Q1 and then having to drop first at the end of the day. Like, dude, that would have been pretty gnarly.
Yeah, that was a cool story. Everybody just seemed so stoked for him. Like same kind of situation as Davide Palazzari. Like just they've had the speed for so long, and this maybe is like the first time it's come together, but it surely won't be the last time. Yeah, and the freaking Gates 100K challenge potentially could be taken.
Juanfer wasn't even on the bike. He was on the chain.
Oh, was he not?
He had a chain.
We seen him at dinner. I was like, better get that belt on.
Yeah, no kidding. God, come on. What are they doing? We got to text John. Get the belts out.
Dude, can you guys hear this in the background?
Okay.
Oh, just calm down. There was like someone singing super loud.
Sometimes you just gotta sing. Who's in the shower? Okay, I'm gonna run through some overall breakdown and get this thing wrapped up. Junior women. Rosa Earl of Q Factor Racing. She's holding on to first still after her second Latuil, third in Andorra. She has 300 points. Ali Arsgaard jumps up to second after she went back-to-back wins. Didn't really touch on that, but finally got a win in Latuil. Felt like it was a long time coming, and she rode super impressively there. And then got a little bit lucky with juniors just taking qualifying times in Andorra. So she has 245 points. Ellie Holzenbosch sits in third after her 8th and 4th at the last 2 rounds with 205 points. Bella Birchall, riding for Team High Country, now sits in 4th overall with 190 points. And Tilly Melton drops to 5th in the overall after having a good round Latuil, getting 3rd, and then had some issues in qualifying in Andorra, didn't score any points, and she has 170 points in the overall. Going down to junior men, So before these last 2 rounds was Val di Sole. The points were very tight then. And then Till going back-to-back wins in Val di Sole and Thuile. And then Max finishing 14th. And Thuile definitely tightened things up. But then Max won in Andorra. Till finished 5th, so it kind of balanced itself out a little bit. But it's the tightest points category we have right now. So Max is in first with 279 points. Tyler Waite is in second with 265 points after going back-to-back third place finishes. Third is Till with 263 points. Fourth is Asa with 247 points. And there's a little bit of a gap back to fifth with Ollie Clark with 198 points. So could be anyone's. My like gut hope would be that Tyler Waite just like pulls a Valley Hall and doesn't maybe even win one this year, but just somehow stays Mr. Consistent and takes the overall. That'd be pretty neat to see. But it'll be really interesting with 4 rounds left to go. We're just past halfway. All right, elite women. As I just kind of mentioned, Valley holds on to the lead. She got second in Thuile and Andorra, staying consistent. Still hasn't won a race, which feels kind of insane after 6 rounds, but I guess she's just playing the long game, going for consistency. She has 1,344 points. Then Gracey, as we'd mentioned, still got a 5th in Andorra despite crashing, had a 3rd in Thuile. She sits 2nd now with 1,225 points. She's actually lost 70 points to Valley in the last 2 rounds, but still definitely within touch. Tawny continues to sit in 3rd after her 4th and 1st place finishes. She has 1,152 points. Cami Blanche, she jumps from 6th up to 4th in the overall after her 5th in Thuile. Managed to hold on to 4th in the overall after crashing out in Andorra and getting 14th. She has 717 points. So pretty big gap from her to those top 3. Then it stays kind of snug from there going down. We didn't really touch on Nina winning in Thuile, which is really rad to see. I had to note that it was her first win since Andorra in 2023. Good day for the syndicate as well in Thuile with her and Jackson winning. And then she unfortunately had that kind of wild crash in Andorra where she did a seat bounce knack and slid it out, survived. But she is sitting 5th in the overall with 692 points. So her and Cami a bit out of touch. The other top 3 are closer than not. All it takes is one mechanical or something for things to get switched up. Elite men, I'm going to do it. I'm going to fight through this dental pain I'm in right now. Jackson extends his points lead after his perfect weekend with Thuile. Then he lost a few points to Loic and Andorra, getting 2nd, but he still has the overall with 1,406 points. Loic is in 2nd with 1,269 points, and there is a pretty sizable gap back to Loris in 3rd, who's been solid. 2nd with Thuile, 3rd in Andorra, but he has 926 points. Probably the biggest come up has been O'Sheen O'Callaghan, jumps up to 4th in the overall after his 8th and 5th place finishes at the past 2 rounds.
He has silent assassin.
Huh?
He's like the silent assassin.
I know. I mean, it was Luca for a while, and Lucas had a few subpar results, but I know. I mean, he is back quite a bit on points. But really, I mean, Thibaut Deprella, he's in 5th. He's at a podium this year, but so is O'Sheen, I guess. I think he got 2nd the first round. But yeah, Deprella's sitting in 5th. I think he crashed in Thuile, right? Maybe?
Yes. I believe so.
Crashed in Thuile, 6th Andorra, solid, 695 points. So pretty tight to O'Sheen. And then Amory and Luca have dropped down the overall, which is why those other 2 have moved up. Amory somehow managed a 10th in Thuile with his freshly plated collarbone, which is insane. And then as we were talking about, was on a super good run in Andorra before. It's funny, my notes here says crashing because I didn't actually watch the race, but he went around the jump and had to go back. He has 653 points. Luca, 2 so-so weekends with the 9th and 13th. He has 651 points. I think actually after Luca, points are really tight as well. So like that back half of the top 10 could definitely get mixed around quite a bit. All right. Burgtec, labor of love. I've got some kind of subpar notes here. I mean, I want to give Frida one of them. She got 14th and 12th, right? 14th in Thuile, 12th in Andorra. There's some other names for both rounds that feel fitting or appropriate as well.
There might have been a guy in there running with like a tire lever taped to his handlebars as a privateer in there in an Australia jersey, which I thought personally was pretty sick, making it happen. So it sounds like pretty cool to me if you ask me.
All right, let's do that. Frida will take with Thuile, even though she did better in Andorra. And it's Carter Sloan here talking about, I believe.
Yeah,
right?
I believe that's him.
Yep.
What was the deal with this tire lever?
I think he broke his knuckle.
Oh.
Like, kind of gnarly sounding. I don't really know how the tire lever played into it, but a splint maybe, support. It went away.
That's because my phone is cooked. Yeah, he like had his handlebar like he's racing like a broken finger and with the tire lever and his hand taped on, and I was ripping. So seems pretty fitting if you ask me.
Heck yeah. That's about as privateer as it gets.
That's gnarly.
Carter and Frida, they take the Burgtec Labor Love Awards for the past 2 rounds. I love that we're not always having to at least yet, we're not having to stretch too hard for these. There's still people making it happen. You know? All right. Yep. We got a big gap in the summer. Dakota's not going to Whistler.
I won't be there.
We got Red Bull Hardline the end of this month, as well as National Champs. And then Crankworx Whistler is the 8th to 17th of next month. Leger is the next World Cup, doesn't pick up till August 21st to the 24th. And then Worlds is right after that in Champery, which is going to be sick.
Jack, are you going to Nationals?
I'm going to be there.
Are you going to race?
Yeah, I'll be racing. I will be there racing.
Okay.
You raced that track before, yeah?
Once, like the first time they built 10-ply. So I'm sure the track has changed quite a bit. If I remember right, I think it was maybe a U.S. Open there we raced.
Yeah, Loic won,
and
right?
It was quite gnarly. Everything looked the same. It was like just white out, and it was pretty tough. So
midday gets gnarly there.
Yeah,
the line being dirt.
Water it a lot.
Hey, it is really cool this year that the U.S. National Championship is also a national round, so other people can attend the race, which I think is pretty sweet.
Oh, that is cool.
I'm excited about that. Or so it seems, right? I mean, it's a national. You should be able to enter if you're not American.
Mm-hmm.
You just won't be on the results for the national championship. So, and it's a traditional schedule, which is cool. Track walk Wednesday, Thursday practice, Friday quali, Saturday race, which I think is going to be sweet.
Yeah. Were you and Pinky staying together?
Yeah, me and Stinky. Yeah, we're gonna go out and
J Hood coming or what?
J Hood's coming. Mechanic's coming. J Hood is coming. Old Pukey himself. His round second go in America. Pinky's Mechanic's coming. It's gonna be a good time. J Hood is slipping out on Whistler, so
as are you.
As am I. Yep.
How's J Hood been?
J Hood's been doing really good. He's a really good mechanic, and he's been pretty fun to be around. He's a salty dog just like me, so it's been nice. I mean, having him around, and we've been getting on pretty well. So little change.
What's the story with you having a new mechanic this year? I don't know if I've heard it.
Yeah,
where did this guy come from?
He was wrenching on pivot for
juniors,
both of the Jewett brothers, and I was working on multiple bikes, and seemed like maybe I knew he was a pretty good mechanic and may want to come work for one guy, and yeah, talked him into coming over to the Mondraker factory racing program, and it's been kind of cool to get to know him, and he's like pretty good with suspension, and he's a really good mechanic, and he's always got a good attitude and works really hard. So he loves to work really hard and do way too much, and then say how much he doesn't like it. He'll be like, man, dude, this is just too much. This is just too much stuff. And then keep doing extra anyways, and just loves to bitch about it. So
Well,
he's just as salty.
You guys are
as me.
perfect for each other.
Yeah, we're great. We get along great.
That's amazing.
He's a good dude. I've been really happy with him, and he's Scottish, but lives in Queenstown. So maybe get to go down there and do some Queenstown bike park laps this winter. Maybe.
Yeah.
If we
It's not a bad setup.
if he doesn't dump me.
Yeah, I'm surprised he didn't after his stay in the U.S.
Yeah, our first get together. He comes to wrench for Pinky at the Tennessee National in Rock Creek, and I wasn't riding yet at the point in time. And he comes over and I think he got the norovirus, what I ended up getting at Sea Otter, or he ended up giving to me. And it happened to come on my drive to Sea Otter between the airport and arriving in Monterey on the side of the highway. Ruined the best experience, the best taco shop. I'd go to this, we would stop in Santa Cruz and get tacos at Los Pericos, and then I had to throw up those tacos, and it'll never be the same scent. So I'm actually quite salty about this. But he comes over here and he ends up he's staying in the little loft above my living room. So you have to go up and down the ladder, ends up getting super sick. And
Dude.
and
I'm in the office.
Yeah, he's in the office, and the last chance qualifier bucket became the main event. So you give somebody a bucket in case they're going to puke on the floor. Well, he was just puking in the bucket. It got that bad. He was living in the bathroom. We had to flee the scene. It was not personal, but we had to go. So it was quite the meet and greet with this dude, but we've made it past it, and we've gotten on pretty well. He's a really good rider, actually, a little loose. He's a bit of a loose dog,
too.
Sick photographer, and it's been cool.
Oh, that's sick. That is a really funny story.
First time ever meeting him, he's just dead in my living room.
Did you say that was his first time to the U.S.?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Or he came for West Virginia for the World Cup, but first time kind of coming and hanging out.
Just visiting.
Yeah. Did him dirty. Yeah, did him dirty.
Is he going to be in Whistler, you said? Or no?
No, he's not going to be there. Yeah, he's out.
Darn, I wanted to meet this individual. Yeah, he seems cool from the few videos I've seen him in.
Might have to come up to Big Bear.
Dude, I'm going to be in Whistler. Otherwise, I would be there 100%.
Man.
What are you doing in Whistler?
Testing downhill bikes.
Is there a downhill track there?
There's a few.
Oh.
There's actually so many.
Weird. I just thought there was a couple of jump trails, A-Line and Dirt Merchant.
Yeah, to a lot of people, those are the only trails. Yeah. Dirt Merchant, Del Boca Vista, Lower A-Line.
Gonna ride it on Slayer or Upper Whistler DH?
I don't really know. We got to do some timing element to this as well, so I got to come up with a good track for it.
You gonna ride Joyride?
No, I think for the timing bit, it'll have to be something that's easy and consistent. Doesn't need to be super long either. Maybe a little bit of variety, but dude, with Creekside these days, you do one Creekside lap, and the variety and amount of riding you get can tell you a lot about a bike.
Mm-hmm.
So it's me and Ryan Burney testing, which will be super fun. Yeah, I'm hyped. I'm hyped to have him involved because he's way smarter than I am when it comes to bike tech and how suspension designs work. But he's also a great rider. So it should be really entertaining. We're just testing a few bikes, making some different videos with each of them, and should be pretty fun. So by the time you would be getting to Whistler and we would have been hanging out, I'll be done working. So that'll be really nice.
This is nice. I'll actually get to see you guys this year, and you guys just won't say, "Oh, we're tire testing. Sorry, gotta go."
Well, I'll have 3 days of just no sleep. So which is on par for the course of last year. Same thing. 3 days of absolutely no sleep, and then I'll just might have some more work later in the week, but some chill days to just ride. Bring my downhill bike.
Yes. Hey, if you need a place to stay, I'm sure we can figure out you just sleeping on our floor. If that means you'll stay. So, because yeah, my week slowly gets filled up with, shaking hands, signing babies, all that stuff. But
shaking babies, signing hands.
Yeah. But the hope is to ride bikes a lot, because also Crankworx is super fucking stingy with giving out tickets. So I think I'm gonna end up just buying a season pass this go around. So
I know I just bought a 5-day, and I don't even know why I bought a 5-day. I should have bought a Twilight pass. It's the same price, and I've only ridden after 4:30.
Yeah, that's a good point. Twilight passes are pretty good, but regardless, we'll definitely be riding some bikes, and I'll have downhill bikes. So
yeah,
it'll be good. I'm looking forward to it. It's the best time of the year. It's the best place to be. If you're on the edge right now by going to Crankworx, this is your sign to go to Crankworx.
And then pop north for some hut trips. And you can do some backcountry stuff.
I'm really now I'm like, fuck, can I work that into my schedule? Lauren's birthday is right after this, and we're planning to rip back to Reno and do stuff with her friends and do some Tahoe stuff. And I'm like, we get to see them the following weekend.
Yeah.
Maybe see if they got a slightly cheaper deal we could do, but yeah, that'd be pretty freaking fun.
Yep.
All right. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was a good chat. Sorry, everybody, we were a little bit late, but you listen to these 40% for the race recap, 60% for the good times and the banter. So I think we crushed it on that side. That's what matters.
I gotta go get on the tractor. I got mowing to do.
The grass stressing you out. It's slowly getting closer to your window.
Dude, nature is creeping in. Gotta get all
Nature's
these
healing.
Yeah, I need to get all these varmints away from my house.
Well, I'm stoked we will all potentially be in the same place here soon. So
yeah,
that'll be fun as well. And I'm gonna force us to do an in-person podcast if that happens. So, but I'll make sure it's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Come on over to Creekside. Come on over to Creekside.
Oh, wait, is that where you're staying? Great. We actually aren't going to see you then.
Yeah.
I feel like you've made this mistake before. Come on. God, you just like road riding, huh?
Gotta keep them guessing,
All
right. Thank you, everybody, listening to the Beat Practice podcast. Thank you, Maxis and Burgtec, for supporting this. And we will see everybody maybe between now and Leger or after Leger. Peace.
See ya.